Prepare to know why they call me Shredder. This is the end, Turtles!
Sometimes a game is precisely what it says it is on the tin. What you see is what you get, for better and for worse. That's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade, Wrath of the Mutants. An enhanced port of the 2017 arcade game from developer Raw Thrills, Wrath of the Mutants is a good beat-em-up beaten down by a lack of content and features. It's a tasty slice of New York pizza, but you'll probably be hungry again an hour later. Wrath of the Mutants' visual style, story, and character designs are ripped straight from the 2012 Nickelodeon TV series, but its biggest game inspiration is the 1991 arcade classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. If you've ever played Turtles in Time, you should be able to jump right in. You've got a standard attack which can double as a throw when you're right next to enemies, a jumping attack, a dive kick, and a spin attack. The only difference is that spin attack doesn't cost health, which is a welcome change since you'll need to use it often to stay alive. That makes Wrath of the Mutants feel a little dated when you compare it to modern beat-em-ups like Streets of Rage 4 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. It feels good, but if you're looking for complexity, no, it's not hiding somewhere. There are a few things to liven up the moment-to-moment brawling. The first is your turtle power, a powerful special attack unique to each character. Once you fill up your meter by whacking enemies with your basic attacks, you can unleash your turtle power to utterly demolish regular enemies or deal big damage to bosses. You're even fully invincible the entire time you're letting loose, which is cool. My favorite was Michelangelo's, who uses his nunchucks to carve up a pizza from midair while yelling this.
We got pizza! We got pizza! Yeah! Pizza, pizza, pizza!
I couldn't tell you why the slices explode when they hit enemies, and it's probably better not to think about it too hard, but it's an extremely Mikey thing to do that made me and my co-op partner laugh every time. Meanwhile, Raphael, the angriest turtle in the history of the known universe, just punches the ground really hard a bunch of times. Leonardo spins around so fast he makes a tornado that sucks up his enemies. And Donatello turns into Raiden from Mortal Kombat, and summons an electrical storm from his staff that zaps everyone around him. It's good, goofy stuff.
Awesome! I'm a superhero! Yeah!
That sense of goofiness extends to everything else, too. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is as much a comedy as it is anything else, and you have to nail that to really get what makes this weird universe tick. Wrath of the Mutants gets that. It's genuinely funny, whether it's Donnie lamenting that the health items you come across are floor pizza,
Pizza! Well, floor pizza, okay. But still.
or Krang's robots yelling things like, "Prepare for undesirable outcome." And yes, Shredder says the line. You know which one.
I'll dine on turtle soup!
You never get too much pizza.
On top of your regular moves, you've got item pickups. There are standard things that'll fill your turtle power meter, and entire boxes of pizza that will refill your health. But there are also shurikens that take out enemies in a single throw, and a power-up that lets you spin around on your shell to dish out the hurt, and the ice cream kitty, an unholy terror who emerges from her cooler and zooms around like the killer rabbit from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. The best power-ups, though, are the assist characters. Metalhead and Leatherhead, a turtle robot and mutant alligator, respectively. Metalhead launches missiles, and Leatherhead death rolls absolutely everything in sight. Both clear the screen, even if the enemies in the area haven't fully appeared when you summon them. That's one of those nice quality of life things you don't notice until it's not there. You'll need all of these tools because, like the beat-em-ups of old, there is no dodge or block button, and Wrath of the Mutants throws a ton of enemies at you at once. There's regular Foot Clan ninjas, ninjas with spears, ninjas with lightning guns, mousers, Krang robots with laser guns, legally distinct xenomorphs, the works. You have to approach each of them in different ways too, so you're always on your toes. Managing your turtle power meter, health, and items in the environment adds a little bit of depth and rewards you for making smart choices about when to use what, which keeps moment-to-moment decision-making fun. When you use a turtle power at the wrong time, you'll feel it. Good beat-em-ups force you to manage your resources and make split-second choices, and Wrath of the Mutants has that part down. The boss fights, sadly, are less interesting. They all have an area of effect attack you have to jump over, which is cool until you realize every boss has it. However, a few bosses shine thanks to unique mechanics. Rocksteady's flamethrower, Karai's teleport, Stockman's ability to fly and drop green goo on you, and so on. It becomes a good challenge to time your turtle power right and avoid their scariest stuff by being invulnerable when it happens. But not all of them have those twists, and I wish more of them stood out. This updated version of Wrath of the Mutants is basically double the size of the original arcade game, adding 3 new levels and 6 new bosses, including a new final boss. The original voice cast from the TV show also returns, and everyone gives a good performance. The highlights are probably the late Gilbert Gottfried as Krang Supreme, a casting as absolutely incredible as it sounds.
Kneel before the genius of Krang Supreme!
And Kevin Michael Richardson as Shredder, mostly because his voice sounds like it was forged in the fires of a dying star.
You interfere in my business for the last time. Today you meet your end.
Don't get me wrong, though, everyone here is good, and had I not known new lines or characters were added, I would have never been able to tell the difference. I also loved all 3 of the new stages. The amusement park has you dodging roller coasters and cardboard monsters popping out of the foreground and background as you explore a haunted house. Enemies literally teleport into the Dimension X stage, and there's a big eyeball trying to blast you with lightning. And Shredder's lair is, well, where you fight the Shredder. And without spoiling things, it's pretty cool. Not all of the new bosses are as big of a slam dunk, but several, like Karai, Razor, and Tiger Claw, are at least memorable. And even the ones that aren't are funny. Unfortunately, Wrath of the Mutants isn't long, even by beat-em-up standards. You can finish the whole story campaign in about an hour. Roughly the same as Turtles in Time, but half of Shredder's Revenge, and it's not particularly difficult on the standard difficulty. Hard mode might take you a couple of tries if you just want to button mash, because you only get 2 lives per continue.
You idiots don't have a chance!
It walks the fine line of being harder without feeling unfair, and forces you to learn how to avoid damage and memorize the locations of key power-ups and health items. For my money, it's the best way to play. Once you've beaten hard, however, there's not a lot of incentive to keep playing besides high scores, because there are no other modes and nothing else to conquer. Bafflingly, you can't even enter your name on the high score screen. Wrath of the Mutants just records the character, so if you play it with friends, it can be hard to know who got what score on a level. Most disappointingly, there's no online co-op. There is a local co-op mode for up to 4 players, and it's excellent. But that means you're limited to playing it with people in your area code or via Steam's remote play settings workaround, if you're on PC. Don't get me wrong, I'm a couch co-op evangelist, especially for beat-em-ups, but it would be nice to at least have the option to play it with friends when we can't all be in the same room. I also ran into a level-breaking bug on Shredder's Lair that only appeared in co-op, where enemies wouldn't spawn, but we couldn't progress. The only way out was to use the Leatherhead power-up, which made all the enemies on the map visible. Once he'd killed them, we could proceed, but since we'd already summoned him on the previous attempt, there was no way forward without restarting the level. How much you enjoy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade Wrath of the Mutants will depend on what you're looking for in a beat-em-up. If you just want something easy to play so you can laugh along with friends while you're all splitting a New York pie on the couch, you'll likely have a good time for the hour and change it takes you to burn through it. But if you're looking for something more mechanically nuanced, you'll probably be hungry for more after the credits roll. What's here feels good, but I wish there was more of it, and the lack of online co-op is a total bummer, dude. It's like a $2 slice of pizza you pick up while you're walking home in New York City after a night on the town. It hits the spot in the moment, but it's not going to fill you up for long. For more, check out our reviews of Tales of Kinzera, Zao, or Astra, Knight of Veda. And for everything else, stick with IGN.